The topic is normal curve, or it is also known as normal distribution or Gaussian curve. So this is a subtopic from biostatistics. Now in the last video of biostatistics, we have seen about the central tendency, and that were the mean, median and mode. So that central tendency, it is a single value of a data and it does not give the information about the entire data. So now we have seen in mean you get that single particular value, and because of that we do not get about the entire data, the information about the entire data. Like for example, there is a group of 10 people. The mean of the carious teeth is, so for example in this group of 10 people, the mean of the carious teeth, it is 5. Now does that mean like all these 10 people, they have this 5 number of teeth which are carious? Obviously it's not possible. Hence we have this measure of dispersion which I have already covered, and in that we tell about the data like how it is dispersed or how it is spread around this central tendency. So now in the graphical form, so this is suppose the mean, that is the center value. So now your mean was 5. So the values which are dispersed or they are spread on the either side of this mean is the measures of dispersion, and in that measure of dispersion we have seen about the standard deviation, and depending upon that standard deviation we have this normal curve, and hence it is known as a standard distribution also, because we are following standard deviation in this. Now why it is called as a normal curve? It is because most of the values, they are dispersed around the mean value, and very few extreme values they are seen on the either side of it. Now for example, taking the carious rate as an example only, and when we draw a curve, so it is normally distributed, like for example this curve. So when we are drawing this curve, so this is the mean. Now these are the dispersion rate. So for here you will see this is 4. So the number of carious teeth is 4, 3, or over here it is 6, 7. So over here you can see the distribution, it is normal, and hence it is known as normal distribution. So when the data it is collected from very large number of people and the frequency distribution it is made, the resultant curve which you get, it is a smooth and a symmetrical type of curve. And these limits which are seen on the either side of your mean, they are known as confidence limit. Now this curve, it is also known as Gaussian curve because it was given by Carl Gauss. So it was given by Carl Gauss, who was a mathematician, and because of that it is known as a Gaussian curve. Now most important part of this curve is like what are the features of this curve. So now over here, this is how the normal curve it looks like. Now what are the features of the curve? So the first feature is it is a bell-shaped curve. Now over here, now you can see the shape of this curve, it is like a bell shape, and because of that it is known as a bell-shaped curve. The second feature is it is symmetrical, so it is bilaterally symmetrical. Now if you draw a line in the center, now this is your curve. So if you draw a line in the center, so it is equal on the both side. Now in this you can see on both side of this mean over here, this is, for example, this is the x and this is x. So this both sides, that is this right side and the left side, they are equal. That means your x is equal to x, and when you see, they appear like a mirror image. So the right, it like completely is seen like a mirror image of the left side. So it is equal on the both the sides when you're drawing. So when you're dividing this curve in the center, so if this is your curve, so over here if this is your curve and you're dividing it in the center, now you can see it looks like completely symmetrical. So they are the mirror image. So the right and the left side, so the two half parts of your curve, they are the mirror image, or they are completely symmetrical, and hence this curve is bilaterally symmetrical. So it's like the frequency, it increases from one side. So over here, for example, this was 1. So it keeps on increasing and then it reaches its highest point. So over here, it reaches its highest point and then again it starts decreasing exactly that way in which it has increased. So that is the maximum number of observation is at mean. So the maximum number, so this is the highest point that it has reached. So this maximum number is the mean, and the number which gradually decreases on the either side, they are the few observation on the extreme points. Now the third is mean is equal to 0 and SD is equal to 1, which means now over here the third feature is the total area of the curve is 1 and its mean is 0 and the SD is equal to 1. Now for example, in this curve, so this is your mean. So now suppose this mean is equal to 0. Now we are just supposing this, suppose this is 0, which is not practically possible. Still we are just assuming the mean is 0. Now this over here, so these are your dispersion. So these are your standard deviation. On the either side of your mean are the standard deviation. So this is the dispersion of the individual value on the both side of the mean. So if your mean is equal to 0, so now the 50% of your 0 is 0.5. So 0.5 is on the left side and 0.5 is on the right side. So it's like 0.5 plus 0.5. So it is equal to 1, and that means your SD is equal to 1 and the mean is 0. And the total area of the curve is 1. So this is the third feature of the normal curve, which means mean is equal to 0 and the standard deviation is 1 and the total area of the curve is also 1. Now the next feature is mean is equal to mode is equal to median. That means all these three central tendency, they coincide. So your curve is like this. So all this mean, median and mode, they coincide at this point. So this is the fourth feature. Now for example, if the mean, median and mode, they are not coinciding. So if your mean is present over here, so if your like mode is present over here and the median is present over here, so when you're drawing a curve, it will go like this. So that means this curve is not a normal curve. Now these three features I'm going to explain with this point of inflection. Now what is this point of inflection? So inflection, it is the change in the direction, that is it got inflected. So now this is your curve. So this area, it is convex. So now you can see over here, this area, it is convex. And when the convex, it changes to concavity. So that is the point of inflection, when your convex is changing to concave. So the direction is changed, and that is known as point of inflection. So in this curve, now this is the central value, that is your mean. So this is a perpendicular line which is drawn to the x-axis. So this is the x-axis. So this is a perpendicular line which is drawn at the center. So this is the mean, that is your x. Now when there is a change in the curve, now like over here, the curve is going like this and like suddenly it changes. So it is changing its direction. So over there you mark a point. Like this, you again mark a point where it is changing its direction. Like this, you mark different points on the graph. So these are the marks that you got. And from this point of inflection, you draw a perpendicular line to the x-axis. So now over here you can see this is the perpendicular line which we have drawn to the x-axis. So this is how it looks when you draw. So these are the points that you got. These are the point of inflections. So now when you have drawn your perpendicular line towards the x-axis, so these lines, they are nothing but the standard deviation. So this is your mean. So this becomes the standard deviation, one standard deviation. So the other line adjacent to it is 2 standard deviation. And the adjacent line is 3 standard deviation, and so it goes on, that is 4, 5, 6 SDs. So now what is this one like on the either side of it? So now this x value, if it is 50 for example, so if it is going on other side, so that means the value, it is increasing. So it will be 60, then 70, 80 like this. And if it is on this side, if it is on the left side, so that means the values, they are less than this mean value. So it would be like 40, 30. And because of that, in this now you can see in this actual normal curve, now this is the mean. So this is mean minus 1. So this is a symbol for your SD. So this is mean plus 1, mean plus 2, mean plus 3. So like this it goes on. So this means that your base, it is divided at a distance of 1 SD from the mean. So your base, it is divided at 1 SD from the mean. Over here, your base is divided at 2 SD from the mean. So it is at a 2 distance. So it is at a double distance from your mean. So it is at a 2 SD from the mean. From here, so it is at the 3 distance of the mean over here till the 3 SD. So this is how your normal curve it looks like. I've written this value. So now what are these values? So this first, for example, now first is mean plus or minus 1 SD. So now we have seen your mean and it is plus on one side and it is minus on one side. So it is plus minus 1 SD. So it is equal to 68.3. So over here now in this we have drawn this, it is equal to 68.3. So that means like 68% of the values or the data, it lies between this 1 SD. If there is a group of 1000 people, so in that 1000 people, now 68% of the values, it will lie within this 1 SD values. The next is this 95.4%. That means like 95.4% values or the data, they lie between this 2 SD area. And the third, that is this 99.7%. That means like 99.7% of the values or the data, it lies between these 3 SD. Now for example, I'm going to explain this how exactly it is. So now in a group of 500 people, so there are 500 people. So in that you are seeing the weight of them. And in this you get the mean. So the mean of this 500 people, the mean of the 500 people weight is 50 kg for example. And the standard deviation, it is 10 kgs. So the number of people, they are 500, and in this the mean, it is 50 kg when we are seeing the weight of them, and the standard deviation, it came out to be 10 kg. Now according to this graph, we will draw this. So the mean value, it is the center value. So the mean we have seen, it is 50. This is your x-axis. Then the standard deviation is 10. Now we have seen over here the standard deviation is 10. And in the formula, now over here we have seen x plus 1 standard deviation. Over here it is x minus 1 standard deviation. On one side it is plus and on one side it is minus. So if the mean is 50, so x plus 1 SD. So it comes out your SD is 10. So 50 plus 10 is 60. So over here, now this is the next value. Over here, this is the 60. Now over on this side, on the left side, you have seen it is x minus 1 SD. So x is your 50 minus 1 SD. So SD is 10. So it is 40. So this is the line adjacent to it. So now this is your 1 SD. And this is your mean. Now the next is over here, it is 2 SD. So it is mean plus 2 SD. Mean is 50 plus 2 into 10. So that comes out to be a 70. 2 into 10 is 20. So it is. So the next line is 70, and over here it will be you're minusing 20. So it will be 30. Like this, over here again it will be 20, and over here it will be 80. So this is your 2 SD. This is your 3 SD. Over here this is your 2 SD plus, and this is your 3 SD. The value are plused. Now according to this value, now we have seen this percentage over here, it is 68.3. So that means 68% of the data, it lies within 1 SD. That means now amongst 500 people, 68% of the people weight, it will lie between this 40 to 60 range. So it will lie within this range, between this 1 SD. So it is 68%. So 68% of people, they will have weight of, so the weight between 40 to 60. Now the next value was 95.4%. That means 95.4% people, they lie between this 2 SD. That means that is 30 to 70. So 95% people, they lie between this range of 30 kg to 70 kg. And the last one was 99.7%. That means 99% of the people. So in the 500 group of the people, now you have seen it was 500. So in this 99% of people, they will lie between 20 to 80 kg. That is your 3 SD. And the last feature of this normal curve is the tails or the ends of this curve, it never touches this line. That means this extreme points, this tails of your curve, it never touches this line. Now example is, if I'm asking you a question, that is what percentage of SD will cover 100% of value. So now we have seen 99.7% was covering by 3 SD. So if the question is what percent covers 100% of your values, so the answer, it comes out to be as infinity, because the tails, they never touches this line. That means it will be like, now your 3 SD, the value was 99.7. So for 4 SD, it will be 99.8. For 5 SD, it will be 99.81. For 6 SD, it will be 99.82. and like this it goes on. You will get even 99.9%, but you will never get 100%. And lastly, there is this formula which is given like if mean is greater than 2 SD, so it indicates that the values, they are normally distributed. Now in the example we have seen the mean was 50 and your SD it was 10. So 2 SD is equal to 20. Now your mean is greater than this 2 SD, and that means your this curve it is normally distributed. Now for example, if your SD it is 30, so your 2 SD it will come out to be 60. Now this SD it is obviously not more than this mean. So your SD is 60 and mean is 50. So over here the SD is greater than the mean, and that means your curve it is abnormally distributed, so it is not a normal curve. And so this is the main point that you have to remember, that the mean is always greater than 2 SD. And that was all about this normal curve. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much.